Wow, those hot pockets are really good. Welcome to Learning Spanish with Mr. A. Well, my previous video was about the verb tener, to have. And you know, we saw that to have in Spanish is irregular, right? So what I did up here, I rewrote the verb for your own good, and mine too actually. Okay, what you need to understand now is that we're going to be using the verb tener, to have, okay, to talk about the obligation, okay? Now, you know, tener que, alright, means to have to, okay? And then it's going to be followed by the infinitive. We saw before that the infinitive is the basic form of the verb. That's basically when you say in English the to in the front of the verb, right? So, you see what I did here? We're adding it up here, okay? So, we've got the verb tener here, conjugated. So you got the Spanish, you got the English. Now you know that you have to memorize them. Very important, right? And now what you also know is that we're going to be combining the verb tener with que, and we're going to add the infinitive of whatever action you want to talk about as an obligation. Let's say you want to say, we have to speak, right? Well, if you could recall, when we talked about the AR verbs, we talked about the verb hablar. Remember? H-A-B-L-A-R, hablar. And we said right here. And we said that it was a regular one, okay? Which is fine. See, at this point, we don't really care because we're going to be using the verb as an infinitive. The one that we need to care about is tener. Why? Because, as you say, we have to speak, they have to work, you have to teach. You know, every time you have a subject, it's very precise, specific, you see. I mean, it's really something that you must think about, okay? And you need to make sure that your verb is going to agree with the subject, right? So, technically speaking, the way you conjugate tener up here is pretty much going to be the way you're going to use tener within the sentence that you want to say, right? So, like, let's say you want to say, we have to speak, right? Well, we have to speak does have the subject we, right? Now, if you recall, we is nosotros, nosotras, which takes you back to the first plural, right? That being said, you know, you just apply the first plural of tener, which is going to be tenemos. Tenemos. Excuse my French. Alright, so, and this is what you end up having here, right? So if you want to be precise, I suggest you bring back the subject pronoun in the sentence, like I did just right here. Nosotros, tenemos, plus que, and plus the infinitive, which is to speak, right? Hablar, right? Excuse me. So, nosotros tenemos que hablar. They have to work, right? So they have. What is they have? That's going to be ellos, ellas, tienen, right? But now you're talking about, once again, they have to work. It's an obligation. So, ellos tienen que, and then you remember that to work is trabajar, another regular AR verb. See, this is the reason why I want you to really try to memorize those verbs so that you know what we're talking about and so that you can actually use them, like right now, you see? So, they have to work. Ellos tienen que trabajar. Alright? Very nice. Now look at the third one here. She has to dance. Of course, you recall what is to dance. Well, if you don't remember, you need to go back to your notebook and you need to really get it right. Because those are very basic verbs in Spanish. Bailar. Bailar. Okay, bailar. So, right here. So what you're going to say is, ella, for she, right? Subject pronoun, she. She has to dance. Tiene, right? Tiene, right? So this is the third singular here. Que, plus que, and plus the infinitive. To dance, which is bailar. Okay? So as you can see, now you are actually starting to come up with some very interesting sentences in Spanish. And in a technical way here, you are actually using the obligation, which is very nice. I have to learn is going to be yo tengo que aprender. Well, why did I say tengo? Well, because that is the first singular. You see, when you say I have, that is going to be yo tengo. See? So it's kind of like you apply what you already know. But it's very neat when you think about it. You have to teach is going to be, well, I'm picking the singular here in the to form, right? So I'm going to say tú, tienes, que, and then you just remember what is to teach in Spanish, enseñar, okay? I want you to write it down. I just took a picture of it and I will add it to the website just for your own good, and mine as well, as usual. And I hope you did understand this little instructional video. And so that is the verb to have, tener. used as an obligation when you say what you have to do. And now you can play back and forth, and you can use those different subjects and apply them. And of course, you remember your verbs, what they are in Spanish, and you can go back and forth, okay? Well, thank you for watching this instructional video. I'll see you around. Hasta luego.